our final Breaking Barrier Award winners this year is the Human Services Council of New York, and here to present is Jayden Mitchell from the Lighthouse Guild.
Hello, everybody. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Those of you who know me and know me well will appreciate that a minor miracle just occurred and that I made it from the table all the way up here to the correct podium without tripping. I'm very excited about that. Here we go. Again, I'm Jayden Mitchell from Lighthouse Guild Career Services, and I'm very pleased to be able to present a Breaking Barriers Award to one of our new partners, which is the Human Services Council of New York, also known as HSC, and specifically to two members of that organization's team, which are Jason Blue, Membership Services Manager, and Marissa Simonson, who is Executive Coordinator. HSC is a broad-based organization. I'm sure they can tell you far better than I about everything they do, but they are basically an advocacy group for non-profit institutions who work in human services in New York. And our relationship with them began about a year ago, right? When we reached out to you guys and started looking for ways that we could perhaps collaborate, seeing the various things that we had in common, including naturally a commitment to human services, also the fact that we were neighbors. Lighthouse Guild is at 111 East 59th Street. They are at 130 East 59th Street. And for those of you who have had a lazy day like me, I have to jaywalk across 59th Street. What's better than that? We got together and looked for the various ways that we could collaborate, and they eventually settled on the idea of joining us as a host business for our Summer Youth Employment Program. Many of you know that during the summers we spend a lot of our time placing college and high school students who are visually impaired and often who have multiple disabilities into summer jobs. And this is something that really resonated with HSC, and they wanted to be a part of that. So as we were getting to know our students last year, we met one young lady who rather immediately we were able to determine was going to be something of a more challenging case. Not because she wasn't a wonderful young lady and easy to get along with, but there were just various issues at hand. And certainly there was the fact that she had never worked before. She had determined she wanted to do clerical work, but not really for any particular reason. There were multiple disabilities that she was facing. And I think probably the biggest challenge was her outlook, which was probably understandable. She had basically spent most of her life getting beaten down and not really being able to believe in herself. And so by the time she reached us with the idea of a summer job, I don't think she had a lot of expectations, or if she did, they were probably pretty low expectations. And as we were getting to know her, she let us know in pretty certain terms that she didn't expect this to work. And so we said, okay, well, we get that, but let's give it a try anyway. And so we decided to match her with HSC. We took her over there for an interview. And very much to Jason and Marissa's credit, even though this is their first summer really working with us, they didn't show a moment's hesitation. They immediately accepted this young lady as a summer intern. They immediately welcomed her into their fold and began a conversation with me, my team, and the job coach involved in the case to find out ways to make this really work for this young lady, to make it a worthwhile and productive learning experience for her. And so she began work with them, and on day one, I think I got a call from Jason, and I was immediately apprehensive. I was like, okay, let's see what happens. But basically, he was just checking in and letting me know that things were going well. He had a few questions. He wanted to talk about a couple of accommodations. He wanted to go through a couple of assignments that they were thinking about doing her. They really wanted to make sure they were giving her real work that she could do, because they had expectations and they needed their interns to actually do things for them. And I got calls from HSC every single week, and they were constantly giving us feedback and progress information. And bit by bit, we were learning that even though this was scary for this young lady, and even though she ran over to my office a good 2 or 3 times, and I had to run over, jaywalking again, to HSC to check in on things, even though it was scary and hard, bit by bit she was learning, and she was actually doing the work. And we had to make a few modifications here and there, and it wasn't a smooth ride all the way, but we were seeing real growth and progress in her. And it was a real emotional moment for me at the end of the summer when she came up to me and she presented to me a certificate that Jason and Marissa had given her and described a party that they had given for her and let me know about all the work that she had done in the last couple of weeks. And I saw on her face something that I hadn't ever seen before, which was a genuine smile. And I knew then that something pretty special had happened. And it was beyond learning just the basic work skills that we expect young people to learn in internships. I think she had learned that, in fact, she is capable of doing this, of going to an employer and actually working and contributing to that employer's needs. And for a young person with multiple disabilities who's never done that before and who probably hasn't had a lot of adults really say, we expect you to do this and to succeed, I think that was a pretty powerful moment for her. And I think that probably embodies in so many ways the spirit of breaking barriers. Because Jason and Marissa, through their ongoing support and their supportive supervision, they, to use a Hillary Clinton phrase, brought all the cracks into that barrier for that young lady. And so Jason and Marissa, I'm not sure if you fully appreciate or if you even believe that you have that level of influence, but through this award I'm here to tell you that you did, and we really appreciate everything that you did for that young lady, everything you've done for our program ever since then, which by the way is a lot. They've taken on another intern, they've gotten involved in our training programs, doing mock interviews. They really are a wonderful collaborative partner and a wonderful neighbor, and we really want to appreciate or extend our appreciation to them. So everybody, if you would please join me in recognizing and thanking